Hey everyone. I consider myself a movie lover. Okay? There has been very few films that I said are probably some of the worst cinematic disasters I've seen. But my thought of that was questioned the other day when I saw probably the worst movie, no, not just the worst comic adaptation ever, but one of the worst movies in history. Now, some people like it because it's so goofy, they're dumb and shit. I don't care. This movie is so fucking bad. It's a comic adaptation of a British comic book, I think so, or yeah, I think it was a British comic book or something like that. I don't know. It could be a different fucking comic book. I don't give a fuck. Uh, Now you're probably going, what movie am I talking about? Well, besides that little preview picture, you might be able to see like, oh, is that this movie? Well, guess what it is. Here we go. Here's the big fucking surprise. Bam. Yep, it's Tank Girl. Tank Girl. Now, yeah, this movie definitely tanked at the box office, which is a good thing, very good thing. Wish it only made about $4, which is probably back then a ticket, one ticket maybe. Now, this movie's directed by. Nah, I'm not gonna really try to laugh. It's directed by Rachel Talalale. Talale. There you go. Okay. And yeah, the comic strip was a comic strip. There you go. It wasn't a comic book. It was a comic strip, and it was written by Alan Martin and Jamie Howlett. Okay. The 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 basic plot is it is based on a British cult comic strip. Okay. Tank Girl or Rebecca and her friends are the only remaining citizens living in the wasteland that is Earth. Where all the remaining water is controlled by water and power. The mega corporation government that runs the territory while you know what? Fuck this. I'm not reading this. I'll tell you right now. Alright, Tank Girl. It has a bunch of weird ass animation, horrible acting, and the story has to do with this evil guy pretty much trying to take over the sewer, like the water line, so he can infect people that look like kangaroos. There you go. There's the story. If I screwed it up, who gives a fuck? If you really cared, then you're a fucking idiot. Alright. This movie also stars. Alright. It stars Laura Petty as Tank Girl. I don't really know who she is, but she was horrible in this movie, so thank God for that. Ice-T is in this movie, playing as one of the kangaroo monster things. I forgot. I think they're called Rippers, which is the gayest thing I've ever seen. I think it. Oh, I think they're called Rat Faces or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Ice-T does a voice of one of them called, and his name is T Saint. Of course, you know Ice-T, T Saint. You know, Noama Watts is in this movie, which is probably the biggest star in this movie. Well, not at the time, but right now. Well, maybe second biggest. Noama Watts. What a bad way to start off your movie career. Alright, you're gonna be in the remake of The Birds, and you're gonna be in great movies. You've been in great movies. You were in what movie came out earlier? I think The International. You were in Eastern Promises, which was a great movie. You're in King Kong remake, which you're I was about to say you were great, and I meant that game was great. I mean that game. Well, the movie and the game were good, but the movie I really loved. You were okay in it, I guess, and you did a decent job of getting grabbed by an ape, and I could tell you really liked it. Like, ooh. Yeah, you weren't in that much of anything else, to be honest. You were in the Ring series, which is nothing to really go wow about, but yeah. Still, probably the second biggest star in here. Probably the biggest star here, now I remember, is Malcolm McDowell. He plays Kesley, the main villain who wants to turn everybody into kangaroos. The story makes no sense. There's animation sequences that come out of nowhere and they make no fucking sense whatsoever. There's a part where pretty much Tank Girl goes, "Yeah, we should fix up my tank and stuff." And out of nowhere they're like spraying shit on him. Like, okay, this is kind of fucking retarded. And then they put a brain in the tank. No explanation. They just put a brain in the tank. Like, here you go. And like, okay. And then the tank could think for itself now. Really? You're not gonna tell us why? Alright. Okay, well, whatever. I guess it makes sense in the comic book universe. It was like they looked at that comic strip and it was like a comic strip, right? It's like what, uh, maybe 5 boxes or something like that. I don't know. It's a British comic strip. It's supposed to be comedy. This movie is supposed to be more of a comedy, which sadly it's not funny. There's people on IMDb that says this is a great comic fun. Yeah, why the low ratings? This guy said why the low ratings on IMDb. I like this movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to search if this is a girl and she's in the ages of 10 or 12 because, oh my god, even if I was younger, I would have been like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. They have some good songs like, what's it called? Screw it, let's fall in love. I forgot what that song's called. I kind of like that song. That's the only really good thing about this movie is the song selection. But they have to ruin it, and they have to put a musical scene in here. Yeah, they put a musical scene in here. They pretty much, out of nowhere, Tank Girl's running away with Noema Watts' character from this bad guy for whatever reason. I don't know why. She's just some bad guy. Alright, she's running away. She's up a down escalator. You know, it's supposed to be funny. She's going up a down escalator. And she's bumping into everybody. And then, for no reason, she just comes down and points a gun at her like, alright, now sing this song. I'm like, you were just running away from her. You just pulled out a gun and came. I don't know. Anyway, they start singing Let's Fall in Love, you know. And she was like, oh, I hate that song. Well, sing it. I'm like, I don't understand what happened. She was just running away. She just comes down, point a gun. Like, why are you running away in the beginning? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, and then they have a musical scene where Laura Petty, she's trying to look all hot and shit. I'm sorry. She is not hot. I'm sorry. She's really trying. She is really, I'll be honest, some scenes she's alright, but most scenes she's fucking hideous. I mean, oh my god. I was like, damn man, I know I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but at least I'm not like running around like, hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend, which she really looked like that girl from that music video. What's that called again? Fucking, I'm pretty sure Girlfriend or something like that. I think it is. It's like the #1 video on YouTube. Anyway. Yeah, she looked like that bitch, or it's the other way. Avril Lavigne, there you go. She looks like her, and she stole it from Tank Girl. Oh, great. A dumb bitch stole something from Tank Girl. That's kind of embarrassing, but alright. I'll go with it, I guess, for some fucked up, retarded reason. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, alright, you know what? Okay, her style and shit, all the cartoon segments were fucking retarded. The action was horrible. There's a part in the CGI is so bad. There's a jet going through. It's like a CGI jet, or it's a CGI rock because he's going through this mountain. It's a mountain, by the way. He's about to crash into a mountain. Looks like, but he just goes straight through it. His wing goes right through it, and I'm like, it's not like the thing was holographic or something like that. It wasn't meant to like actually go through it or anything. It was really like pew, whoosh, and I'm like, did I just see that? Did they fuck up that bad? It was like kind of off screen a little bit, but you could still see the wing going through a little bit. And I'm like, okay, it's either they have a holographic fucking Wonder Woman kind of invisible thing, which is not really invisible but holographic, which wouldn't make sense because the pilot would just fall right through or something like that, or the fucking the mountain itself was holographic because I don't see how they could go through it anyway. And then let me also talk about Laura Petty one more time. Her hairstyle changes about 500 times in this fucking movie. Every time it's like it's sticking up, or it's like emo-ish. You know how like emo, it has the hair over one eye, or it's sometimes it's in a freaking ponytail. Sometimes it's sticking up again. Sometimes it's sticking up even further. Sometimes it's sticking up like in a weird way. Sometimes it's like just flat. Sometimes it's just like regular. Sometimes it's just flat again. Sometimes it's up again. I'm like, how does she figure out all the time? It's like one scene, it was like 5 minutes in between. She was handcuffed and her hair was different. I'm like, what'd you get one of these fucking kangaroo guys to do your hair? Like, hey, alright, you're about to kill us and yeah, you tied me back up with my hand. So can you do my hair real quick? Like, or is it that her hair just fucking automatically transforms like a goddamn GoBot? Oh my god, whatever. Fuck. This movie's so bad. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And I'm probably just gonna end it right here. Say this is, and it might not sound like it's the worst movie. No, it's fucking. It is. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I'm not gonna count those disaster and spoof movies and shit. You know why? Because I mean, those don't even count as movies anymore. They just count as freaking ching, pretty much, because that's what all they do is bring in money. Besides the disaster movie that bombed epically, which is awesome. High five to that. People are getting smarter, and so far they haven't announced any more, so that's good. So yeah, let me keep it to a minimum and just one part and say this movie's bad.